Good afternoon. My name is Sheila Lamb, and I'm with the Virginia SBDC Network. For those of you that are not familiar with our organization, the Virginia Small Business Development Center is a partnership program between the U.S. Small Business Administration, George Mason University, and local host institutions throughout Virginia. With 27 locations across the Commonwealth, we provide training and technical assistance to small businesses in their local communities. Our one-on-one advising services are available at no charge. Today's webinar, 5 Cybersecurity New Year's Resolutions for 2023, is presented by the Virginia SBDC Network. We are recording today's presentation and it will be posted on our website, virginiasbdc.org. Due to the large number of participants, everyone's microphone is muted, but if you have questions during the presentation, you can type those into the Q&A box. We have also enabled the live transcript function, which you can show or hide via your meeting controls. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our presenter for today's session, Kiana Gainey. Kiana is a 20-plus year IT and cybersecurity industry veteran and has served as Chief Executive Officer for SecureTech 360, located in Springfield, Virginia, since its inception in 2010. Ms. Gainey is also the Cyber Industry Specialist for the Virginia SBDC. Welcome, Kiana.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Today, we will be covering 5 cybersecurity New Year's resolutions for 2023. I know we're all familiar with the term New Year, New Me. So we hope today that we'll be able to help jumpstart your new year with these essential tools and tips to help your small business succeed next year. Next slide. So today, just briefly our introduction, we'll talk about how to build a security-aware culture from the inside out. We'll give you some tips to plan for 2023 and beyond. If you have some questions, you can put them in the Q&A and we'll answer them at the end of the presentation. And then at the end, we'll leave a slide available for contact information on how to get in contact with me. If you want to go a deeper dive, I am here. I am one of my greatest roles right now is as the Virginia SBDC cybersecurity consultant. I'm here to help you get your business ready for 2023 and beyond. Next slide. So a little bit about me. We touched about it. I've been in the industry for about 20 plus years. I've been in as a small business owner. I've run a nonprofit. I worked in industry. And so I understand all aspects of cybersecurity from being an owner, a small business owner, and also just working in the industry. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. And if you want to set up a one-on-one, there is some contact information at the end that we can go a deeper dive as well. Next slide. So let's dig right in. So when you think about your New Year's strategy, right? Always say prevention is better than a cure. What that means is that you want to build a security-aware culture from the inside out. Your employees have a lot of responsibility, and especially this time of the year. I know we're just finishing up Black Friday and Thanksgiving, and we're going right into the holiday season and Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating. And then right after that, we go right into the New Year's. And then we have all of these wonderful New Year's resolutions that we want for ourselves. We should also take that stance when we're thinking about planning for next year for our small business. So just a few tips. Every industry is different. So making sure that you understand and know your industry specific risk will be crucial to you planning a security or planning and also adopting a security aware culture from the inside and out from your employees. There are a lot of things that are happening right now. I know my email has been flooded with all type of weird looking emails that almost look like the real thing. But when I dig a little deeper and I look at the email address, I see that there's something off about it, or you'll see things like misspelled words. And I've even had folks call me and say, hey, I'm from the IRS and I have your information. And if you don't call right back, that I'm going to jail or something. Those are phishing attacks. Those are social engineering attacks. And the best way to be able to get yourself ready for those things is to make sure that you are training your employees. So training is definitely key to building a security aware culture from the inside and out. Also, if you have depending on your industry, you can use things like safe passwords. Developing and understanding how two-factor authentication can help as well. I know I use it with my banking. I use it with some of my email providers as well. And those are things that are key in prevention, right? Those are strategies that you can use to build a resilient and also prepare you for over the next 12 months and also beyond, right? You want to make sure that your employees have enough information on what to do in the case of an emergency as well. So also having a way to be able to test out your security policies and plans, review them with your employees, and make sure that what you had addressed or what you have documented for 2022, if there's new technologies like with the expansion of 5G, Internet of Things, like everything now, we have wearables, you have your cars have some type of, it's IP based. We have a lot of folks that are now working from home. Those are new threats. Right after COVID, a lot of employees either continue to have remote work and then some had to come back into the office. So now you have maybe more of a hybrid workforce. So those are things that will be considered new threats, new things that you should probably establish policies and procedures about. I also would suggest you also putting together a mobile security policy. And what that means is just having some type of policies about the usage of mobile devices, especially for people that are working from home, and even people that are working on site or with that's front facing with your customers. You want to make sure they have an understanding of the technologies that they are potentially a risk that they're potentially presenting to you and your organization. So those are key things to be able to put together and to also adopt as you're starting to think about how to build a security aware culture, right? And then also not just being aware, but also being proactive, making sure that you are proactive in everything that you do will also be key for your planning for 2023. Next slide. So we talked a little bit about it. I would also recommend doing some type of device security updates or even some type of scanning on a weekly or monthly, like getting a schedule together on how to be able to run these updates. I know I see them when you get the updates. There's the latest update that's available. Making sure you have a plan in place to do that. Also, you can also do things like just put an alert with you and your employees that this is something that you'll do monthly, or this is something that you want to adopt as a plan of action for 2023. And then also using some of those different filters, or I know with my antivirus, usually when I try to log in and it wants to run a scan, usually on a weekly basis, if there's any type of things that's happening, you spent the money to adopt some type of antivirus or malware protection for your organization. So make sure that you're updating that. Make sure you're running those updates because they are constantly updating because of current threats or risks that are being presented to your technologies. Make sure that you have a plan in place to be able to ensure that that is happening on a more consistent basis. And then also to prevent having those weird emails come into your mailbox, you can put spam filters in. And that way you can make sure that even for us, like I know with my organization, I have a filter in place where it prevents my employees to be able to download or even open links from emails that are not from trusted sources, and even things that you consider as trusted sources. Take that one step just to make sure that you're receiving something from the person that intended to send it to you, because there are a lot of things that are happening in transmission of that email or that target trying to get inside of your organization. And then last but not least, always have a way to back up your data, have a disaster recovery plan in place. You can perform those daily incremental backups. You can do quarterly backups, monthly backups, and then testing those backups. I know a lot of organizations that I worked for in the past, usually when there was a system that went down or something happened, and then they tried to restore from a backup, and then they go to find out that the backup was corrupt. And my first question would be, did you have a disaster recovery plan that ensured that you were testing those backups to make sure that they can be used in the event of an emergency? You don't want to wait until the emergency happens and then you realize that the backup that you've been backing up is not a good backup. So make sure you're testing those regularly. Make sure that you have a plan in place so that you can keep your business up and running just in case something happens. And then also take this time, I would say, like, we're taking our list, we're checking it twice. Check all of your software licenses and contracts, see if there's any updates, any firmware updates, any software updates, if there's any annual subscriptions or anything that would give you more security or more services. I know for myself, this because it's the end of year, I've been receiving a lot of your yearly annual updates for different things or different contracts or software licenses that are due. And that gave me a chance to see, has the software or things that I've been using in my organization, has it been beneficial to my organization? Do we need something else? Has our needs changed? Has anything happened that would prevent me from using it for the next year? So take this time just to kind of look at what you currently have in your environment, and even look and see if there's something that came out that can be a better assistance to you and your company, or if it's something that it's been working, it's working well, it's working great, it's something that you want to renew. Take that time this year as one of your New Year's resolutions to make sure that you have a cyber wellness plan that will be very specific to your industry and your needs for your business for 2023. Next slide. And then again, having a plan for 2023 and beyond. So even as we're looking for our New Year's resolutions, I know I started with saying I'm going to do a million things, right? We're going to get in shape. We're going to eat right. We're going to do some spring cleaning. We're going to take the cars in for tune-ups. It's the same concept when you're thinking about your IT assets, because I know as a small business owner, that is one of the biggest expenses outside of additional costs that we need to maintain our business, because we spend a lot of money, making sure that our employees have IT equipment, phones. They make sure they have terminals if you're taking, different credit card payments. So take the time, just as you spent the money to purchase these items, to manage and protect them. And then if you need assistance, I always say, I believe in hiring a consultant or someone that has a skill that is not your cup of tea. I'm not a finance person, although I understand, I know how to add and subtract. I knew that as my business was growing, it was very crucial for me to bring in a bookkeeper to help to manage my QuickBooks, and then also a CPA every year to file my taxes, because it was just not something that I was good at. And it's the same thing, the same concept. If you need to hire an IT consultant to help you kind of look under the hood and make sure that you understand what software updates you need, or what software applications will be beneficial for your company, what type of devices that you need will be best suited for you. Would it be better for you to use a Mac versus a PC, or would it be better for you to use iPads or different things? There are consultants that can help you be able to manage. So that's something else you can, if you have the budget, to plan to see. Because again, like we talked about in the beginning, prevention is always better than a cure, right? You don't want to have to scramble around looking for a cure for something when you could have done things to prevent it. So take this time, look at your IT assets, look at what type of risk that are specific to your organization. If there's things that you can do that I always call the low-hanging fruit, if you can put together a policy, and maybe there's some things that you are not sure of, that's what we're here for, to assist you, to help you put together that mobile device plan. Look at that backup and recovery plan. Put together an entire cybersecurity program that ensures wellness and prevention methods for your organization. We're here to help you, so you're not here alone. But also making sure that you just speak to your employees. A lot of times, they've been working with these different assets and things that we purchase for our organization. I always like to give, even in my staff meetings, just some feedback. What's worked for us? What didn't work for us? Did you like Teams versus Zoom? Did you like McAfee versus Norton? Did you find that one was better than the other? Because sometimes that will be the best feedback that you can receive as a people that's working for your organization, because they're working with it in real time. So, take the time this year before the year is ending I know I was looking at the calendar yesterday and was saying, I can't believe that I'm already talking about planning for 2023, and I'm still in 2022. So there are things that you can still do today to end 2022 with a bang, and then to be able to hit the ground running in 2023 and beyond, and make sure that you and your organization is prepared for all the new things that are happening, all the new developments in technology. Technology is ever growing. It's always happening in real time. We have the 5G that's happening. You're having a lot of cloud security, a lot of cloud applications that are happening. Again, we talked about even like the Internet of Things. I know for myself, I said the other day, I can't leave out the house without my iPad, my iPhone, and now my watch. I feel like I have a lot of different devices to even secure and protect, but also those are things that I use in my every day-to-day business, so that I'm making sure that I'm able to work remotely or being able to work on the go. So next slide. So I hope that this gives you just some food for thought. We have some links and resources available that you can go and do a deeper dive. And then I also have something I'll put in the chat about mobile device security. NIST does a great job with giving some guidance. The 800 and 124, it's a great tool that you can use to put together a mobile device plan for your organization, because I know that that is one of the most used IT devices that we use in our organization, but it also poses a lot of different risks, as we're having people bring your own device, or people working from home and they're using different devices to jump on calls or to do meetings. We want to make sure that they understand the technology that they're using, that they are protecting your organization, they're protecting your customers, your stakeholders, everyone that has an invested interest in your business. Next slide. So I know that was kind of a quick to the point. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and I'll be glad to answer them.
No questions yet. I did just drop a poll up. If you all could take a few moments to fill that out, that just helps us moving forward in our next sessions to better serve you. Thanks.
Yes.
And there will be a follow-up email going out probably by the end of the week that will have those links that Kiana shared just a moment ago.
Yes. And then also, I know we talked about it a little bit, but as you are thinking about your industry specific risks, also monitor some attack trends that are happening for those risks, right? I know for myself, I start my day by watching the news to kind of see what kind of things are happening in real time, because a lot of things that are happening in the world also are things that are necessarily that's happening with the cybersecurity and even with the internet. Just to keep abreast about what's happening around me also helps me to be able to think about how to plan for 2023, right? So if I know that there's going to be issues with the adoption of 5G, or there's going to be some more things that's coming out about how to protect Internet of Things, those are things that I can start doing my research ahead of time, so that I am prepared, because preparedness is always better. Preparedness, prevention, whatever word you like to use, is always better than trying to figure out a cure, especially when something's happening to you in real time and it's affecting you, your customers, your bottom line, your reputation. And even as a small business owner, I know that everything is crucial. Our customers, keeping our products or services readily available to our customers, not having any downtime, right? Because it could be the difference of you being in business today and being out of business the next day. So just stay abreast of those things, monitor those attack trends, know about your industry specific risks, because what may be relevant for one, it's not a one size fit all, like with anything, right? Your business is unique. It was your unique idea. and you were bold enough to even, start a business. So I always say just that boldness that you have with starting that business is key to keeping your business open, and having a cyber wellness plan, having preventive things in place is key to keeping that business growing and thriving. And that's what we like to see: growing, thriving, safe, small businesses going to the next level.
And so we have a couple things have dropped into the questions.
Okay.
This is a big one. I know we did a webinar a few months ago, I think, on this, which is, you can find it on demand on our website. But it's share your opinion about cyber insurance.
So 2 things. Cyber insurance, I know we did do a webinar about that. We kind of did a deep dive. It's very crucial to your business, especially if you have an industry that has some specific things that can happen, like we talked about, with some specific risks that can happen to your company. So if you're handling like financial data, healthcare data, if you're doing anything that is really public facing, think about it as when you approach with doing regular business insurance. It's there to help you if in the case of an emergency, if something happens, right? And we talked about that's another preventive tool that you can have in your toolbox that will be there to help you. If you have a current business insurance carrier, you can take this time as one of your New Year's resolutions, right? We talked about New Year, New Me. We talked about looking at some of the contracts or things that you have in place. Also look at your insurance policies, right? If there's some coverages that are there that work for you in 2022, and you saw some different trends or things that were happening with your industry and your business, this would be a great time to talk to that insurance provider to see if there are additional things that you can add with your coverages to see if you're even covered. I've had some folks that reached out to me that said, hey, I didn't even know I had $50,000 in coverage if something happened. Do I need more? And those are the things that we took some time and we did a deep dive to say, when you first started, you were only doing patient data for 2 people. Now you're doing patient data for 50 people. $50,000 may not be sufficient now where it was when it was sufficient when you started, a couple of years ago. So those are things that you constantly have to stay on top of and make sure that you're reviewing. And I think that that's a great New Year's resolution, or to be able to be cyber safe and also to be preventive in nature when you're thinking about, building a security culture from the in and out, and also having some type of cyber wellness and a great cyber hygiene practice. So I'm all for it, but I understand anytime we're talking about cost and small business, I always say, would you rather wait until you need a root canal, or could you just do some preventive things like, brush your teeth 3 times a day, the things that they recommend, because the root canal could be very painful. It can have some downtime where you could have done something that was more preventive in nature. So think of that when you're thinking about putting together your cyber wellness for 2023.
So this is a little follow-up from the same attendee on that question. What online product businesses need cyber insurance? And if so, do you have a list of companies that provide this?
So I don't have a personal list that I can give you because we don't really endorse a specific product or business. But I can give you, if you want to set up a one-on-one, I can give you some customer recommendations or experiences from customers that have had great encounters with using some of these insurance providers in the past. For myself, I've used my insurance provider. I use Hartford, but Hartford also gave me some additional recommendations for folks that were doing cyber risk insurance for my specific industry. So again, it's based on your industry and your needs and your business. So it's definitely crucial that you get it. If you want some recommendations based on customer experiences, I can give you that, but I don't have like a particular list that I can send you out.
Okay, so this next question, VUL scans, VULSCANs can be expensive. What are you using?
So They can be expensive. Vulnerability scanning can be expensive. We use Nessus, but I have an enterprise license because I am in I run an IT business. So that's a part of my business model. So depending on your business model, you could use a scanning tool like Nessus, but also DHS, and I'll drop that as one of the links when we send out the PowerPoint, has some tools that they have available for small business owners that you can use that's not as expensive as a vulnerability enterprise tool, if that makes sense. So there are some products that are out there that are recommended by some of our government agencies that have put together plans and great resources for small business owners. And I'll be happy to share that with you.
No other questions at the moment. Does anyone else have anything?
So I hope that, that 2023 will get all type of testimonials on how small business owners are putting together their cyber wellness plan. So please feel free to share those with us. If there's anything we can help you with, again, you can schedule a one-on-one with me. There's my information there. You can shoot me an email. You can say, hey, I went through the webinar, and when I got off, I thought about it, and this is the specific risk to my organization. Can you help me with X, Y, and Z? I'm available to you. I am a resource to you. And then again, we have some links to the webinars for if you want to go a deeper dive. I think I brought in a representative about cyber risk insurance, and she went through some great scenarios about things that she saw things that happen in the industry in real time. Even for some of my government contractors who use as a subcontractor, some things that happened to them where they found it beneficial to get cyber risk insurance as well. And then also the website also has a wealth of knowledge about different resources dealing with topics in cybersecurity, some different links to be able to take you to some of the great resources that are available to us. One thing that I'm excited about, I've been in the industry for over 20 years, and the amount of information that is available now for organizations is amazing. So they are giving out quality information that you can use to be able to put together these programs. So please take advantage of this. The fact that you were here today tells me that you want to, this is one of your New Year's resolutions and you're checking it off, and you want to be cyber safe, and you want a cyber wellness program, and you believe that prevention is better than cure. So claps to you, thumbs up to you. And I hope to see you on future webinars. Schedule a one-on-one, go to our website, use our resources, and thank you. You've been a wonderful audience.
Thank you, Kiana. And just also to wrap up, as we said, you will receive a link by the end of the week. It's going to have the recording and the slides. So you'll have all that at your disposal. If you would like to sign up for upcoming webinars or access recorded webinars, please visit virginiasbdc.org/training. This webinar and other SBDC resources are designed to be used in collaboration with your local SBDC advisors. You can sign up for free and confidential sessions by emailing help@virginiasbdc.org or via our website. Thank you all for attending. I hope to see you at our next session. And I guess it's almost time to say happy holidays and happy new year. Take care.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.